Welcome back to my solo European travel journey. Today's video is my trip to the Krka National Park in Croatia. I did this trip straight after my med sale, and I actually booked this experience through Airbnb. I will leave the link to where I stayed in Croatia and throughout the rest of Europe in the description box. Krka National Park is situated along the Krka River in southern Croatia, and the park is known for a series of 7 waterfalls. As you can see, I had such a fun day here at the Krka National Park, and my tour guide was amazing and so knowledgeable about the entire area. I did this tour completely solo after my med sale trip, so all of the videos and photos of me, I just asked complete random strangers to take. I had always seen this park and these beautiful falls on Instagram, and I'd always hoped that one day I would be able to go there and experience it myself. And the waterfalls and the entire park were so breathtaking and so magical. I spent a lot of the time that I was there just walking around, trying to take it all in just by myself and just being present in the moment. And obviously I loved having a swim in the waterfall. Unfortunately, I couldn't go that far in because I had my camera and my bag not far from where I was, but on a rock by a tree. And there are pickpocketers around, so I had to be extra cautious because obviously I was on my own. So unfortunately, I couldn't get as close as I would have liked to the waterfalls, and I also didn't go all in the water and didn't get my hair wet, which was disappointing, but there is always next time, right? As you can see, pretty much the entire day I had a big smile on my face that I just could not wipe off. I was having such a fun time. I hope that this video inspires you guys to go and check out Krka National Park one day. So welcome to my Krka National Park vlog. So the tour started off with us on the road bright and early. We had to get to the office at roughly 7 a.m. to commence our tour. And on the way I saw a smoothie stand, so I couldn't help myself. And our lovely tour guide was explaining all of the facts about Croatia the entire day. As I mentioned before, he was incredibly knowledgeable, so it was great to have that insight into the history as well as the culture of Croatia. So we parked the bus at the national park, and then we actually caught a boat to where the waterfalls are situated. When I saw the waterfalls in person, the photos that I had seen online did not do them justice whatsoever. So when I first saw the waterfalls, I was completely taken aback and in awe. And of course I had to get a photo in front of the waterfalls. The tour that I went on had a few different activities. So we started out at the most famous waterfall, which is named the Skradinski Waterfall. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. The tour was very well structured and laid out and organized, and I would highly recommend it for travelers such as myself who are solo travelers or people that are more time poor. We definitely had enough time to explore the park and have a walk around and about a 15-minute swim in the waterfalls. But I'm someone who really likes to take in a place when I'm there, and in my opinion, I think we could have at least spent 5 hours in this section of the park alone. There is simply that much to see and that much to do. And if you're anything like me and love photography, there is so many beautiful photo opportunities. So I thought I would explain some facts about Krka National Park. The national park was actually created to protect the area, and Krka National Park is 109 square kilometers in size. The natural world flourishes at Krka National Park. There are 18 species of fish alone and 222 bird species, and it is very rich in lavender. I really enjoyed walking around the national park because there was so much beauty all around me and it was so peaceful. There are multiple sets of waterfalls within the Krka National Park. And the national park actually has several locations that feature this stunning geological attraction. Skredinsky Book is considered to be the most beautiful set of calcium carbonate waterfalls in Europe. And this is thanks to the play of light on the whirlpools and the variety of vegetation in the area. You can see just by watching this how peaceful and beautiful Krka National Park really is. These falls are the lowest of 3 waterfalls along the Krka River, and they're actually comprised of 17 different waterfalls. So once we were finished at our first destination, which was Krka National Park, we then caught the boat back to the bus to go to our next destination. For the next part of the tour, we started out at this gorgeous lookout. What a view, right? Well, we headed to our next destination, which was based around the Russki Slap, and Slap stands for waterfall in Croatian. I loved that my tour incorporated this part of the national park as well, because it was definitely a lot less touristy and it was such a stunning place to be able to see. So this part of the park is famous for its watermills, and look at this gorgeous lake. It was just so picturesque. And then I had a beautiful romantic lunch all to myself in this beautiful picturesque location. It was such a jam-packed day of amazing activities. So I definitely had to refuel for lunch, but then once I'd had lunch, I then went off and went for a hike up to a lookout point. And it was quite a hike, but it was such a beautiful way to see the place. As you can see, it is such a scenic and beautiful location. And as I mentioned before, a lot of tourists don't get to see this part of the park, so I felt very privileged and very happy that my tour included this stunning location. So my hike up to the lookout was definitely well worth it. At the top you can see how beautiful the view is. And it was super random, but at the top of the hike there was this cool cave that I went through. And I hope that I'm pronouncing this correctly. It's called the Ozidana Cave. And this cave dates back to prehistorical times. And they had cute little cavemen inside the cave as well. Now, one of my favorite parts of the tour was tasting the local liquor from Croatia. We went to our tour guide's dad's house, so it was very authentic and very traditional, where he makes his own alcohol. It was a great experience and such an awesome way to finish a big day of adventure. So at the end of the tour, my tour guide kindly dropped me off at a spot where I then caught an Uber back to my Airbnb. And my Airbnb, which I have linked in the description box below, was very close to the Split Marina. So it was very easy to get picked up by my Airbnb host after my med sail. And are we in New Zealand or Croatia? I'm not sure. My Airbnb hosts were amazing. They did my washing for me and every day would bring me some type of delicious food. I was so spoiled. So I didn't stay in Split for very long. I was there for 3 days, I believe. And on my final day, I spent the day just walking around the marina and just seeing how the locals lived. And I was so hungry, so I ordered a feast for probably about a family of 4. And I actually ended up making friends with a local and went out on the boat in the evening and saw Split from a completely different angle. And I also got to explore the town because where I was staying was a bit far out. And this was my Airbnb. Thanks once again for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!